So we're going to do it. It's 10:20. 40 minutes is the plan. I want to be done by 11 because I think, as many of you know, I get up early. My body will not let me sleep, so I'm going to be up at like 4 o'clock, 4:30 tomorrow, especially with this daylight saving. But what a game. I just wanted to do it tonight because still riding high, got a lot of juice, adrenaline. Such a fun game. 4-0 in prime time now. Think about it, man. Sunday night, Brazil, followed by Monday night Raiders, followed by Thursday night at SoFi, Minnesota, now followed by Sunday night. And just, handled the Raiders on Monday night, blew out the Vikings, blew out the Steelers, and obviously knocked off the defending AFC champion Chiefs. In Brazil, prime times. Hello, Parker. You rock. I'm glad you're having fun. Got home a little bit late because my nephews were at the game. Jared, my daughter, is in town from SLO, so it was a big family affair tonight. They had a blast, and it seemed like it was pretty cool. Just obviously a lot of Steelers fans in there, but a ton of Charger fans just kind of giving it right back to them. I was a little nervous at first. I was like, ooh, this is pretty heavy, black and yellow, and then felt really good about the Bolt turnout as the game was going on. You could just kind of see how that whole section behind the Chargers bench was heavy powder blue. So very cool. It's a long way, man, from when they first came up here at StubHub Center, Home Depot Center, whatever it was called, Dignity Health Center at that point. That Steeler game I thought was probably the roughest go of any that we had. I think that was a Thursday or a Sunday nighter. But, man, what a game. So here we go. Beer tonight is this very, very light Modelo because, Petros and Money, we do the Modelo Michelada Monday. So this is a Modelo Chelada. We'll take it. That's our first sip. So here we go. Initial observations. Incredible game plan from Greg Roman. I thought he was just on fire tonight. And Jesse Minter, obviously. You allow essentially 3 points. The touchdown was garbage in garbage time. And, just making sure nobody gets hurt and things don't get weird. Make them take 3 or 4 minutes off the clock. So you give up 6 points last week as a defense. 3 points in this one. Absolutely destroyed the Vikings. Like, they are on a run, man. And it was something that we talked about after the Commanders game and the Colts game. Like, wow, what's going on with this defense? And against the Dolphins, the way Achane was running, and they found it, man. They got their rhythm. Something that we've talked to Coach about, and he mentioned how important rhythm is. This defense has found its rhythm. It's found it up front. Khalil Mack the guy's just ageless. The difference with him on the field versus off, you can just see it's a Joe Alt effect, right? It's just kind of a force multiplier. And Thule is turning into one of the best pass rushers, one of the best defensive linemen in the game. Always been everything is advertised. I think in the running game, it was just that, I think it was the penultimate drive, or maybe it was 3 drives prior to that last one that Steelers had where Jaylen Warren got going a little bit, but they shut down the run. Deshaun Hand's so good. And that group, Caldwell, Tart, and Hand, as they are kind of your primary guys that rotate in there, just sensational, man. And you're starting to see it hum. And that's what it was last year, right? It was an offense that had issues with the skill positions and a defense that allowed 17.7 points per game. And now this is sort of what we've come to expect from Jesse Minter and his group, right? Is dominant line play followed by dominant secondary play. And I think today, man, it's kind of like the one thing about Minter that I think, and I hate just saying Jesse because he's the coordinator, but I think you talk about every coach, because you look at every level of the defense, right? Now that Coach O'Leary's gone, you look at the safeties, R.J. Mickens now with these 2 interceptions as a 7th round rookie, and now Elijah's back to really kind of getting into his rhythm, and he looks like Elijah Molden pre-injury. Linebackers, Denzel Perriman, man, with that pop on that run fit was just incredible. So now you got Navarro Bowman there. Secondary, you got Klink. How about that play that Nico Reed made? I mean, along that right sideline, could have been a deep shot. Who knows what kind of momentum and sort of splash play, what that could have done for a Pittsburgh offense that's just so anemic, man. Everything is just underneath, under 10 yards. It's such a labor for them to get anything going. And here's this shot play where Nico recovers, slaps that thing away, preventing the deep completion and the incomplete. Man, it was great. So that's Klink. right? Dante Jackson with the interception. I know it was Calvin Austin's fault, but you still got to be able to secure that. Cam Hart on that fourth down, bodying up DK. And then the defensive line with Mike Elston and just pick a player. Just sensational. And I think that's what's important. We said this multiple times on the broadcast. It's complementary football. It's recognizing, okay, what is in front of us? It's a team, and I always throw my board away, and I wish I would hold on to it. So let me give you some of the stuff on the Steelers. Listen to some of these things, man. Rodgers, when he has lower than 69% completions, the Steelers are 0-3. The Chargers are now 4-0 when they notch an interception. And the Steelers have, all of it is yak. 68% of their receiving yards are yards after catch. They are the only team above 60%, and they're at 68%. So it's a labor for them to move the ball. So don't give them any freebies. So when you look at the box score and you're like, what kind of game did Justin have? Oh, Justin, he had a quarterback rating of 90.5. Whatever, throw that out. Like, don't give him anything. If you're under pressure, don't put the ball in harm's way. Eat it, take the sack, whatever, And he ended up getting sacked 5 times. Not a big deal because they played the field position game and they knew their defense was nails and that eventually they were going to get him, running everything to the outside. It's just like jab, 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 whop. Here comes Ladd on that inside cut. Touchdown, and then he did it on the very next drive as well. So I thought the motions were great. I thought the run game was exceptional. Kimani, again, you're going to look at the box score and you're going to see Kimani 25 for 95. And you know what? That's fine. But what does that factor in? It factors in Kimani -2 on the final drive. And then he picked up 6. So that's a gain of 4 on 2 carries. That's 2 per carry, right? The one prior to that, all they wanted to do was churn following the interception, or following the muff punt. So what do they get? Kamani -4, Kamani -1, Kamani for 2. That's 3 carries for -3 yards plus the 2 carries for 4 yards. So now we got 5 carries for 0 yards, and that's what pulled his average down. Otherwise, the guy was averaging 5 yards per carry and had over 100. He was great. How about Herbert turning the ankle? And I thought the referees were trash, absolute trash tonight. I don't know what the hell they were watching. It was, and again, it's a game the Chargers were up 25-3, so I got nothing to complain about. I'm not saying it impacted the game, but holy cow, the hold on Zion was not a hold. Peyton Wilson ran right through him and over him, and that negated a first down. You had the holding on Cam Hart, which wasn't a holding. Defensive holding that gave him an automatic first down. Herbert gets dragged to the ground. It was so obvious that the way he went down, the guy is 6'6", 240 pounds, and he just crumples because the defender put his hand in his shoulder pad and dragged him down. They missed that. I can't remember who it was that took a shot straight to Herbert's knee. I think it was Herbig that took a shot to his knee. How was that not flagged for a dirty hit? Yeah, I just saw that, Gloomy. I saw it, I don't know what the hell they were looking at, but man, they were terrible. And for a primetime game, you would assume you get really good officiating. I thought it was awful tonight. And it was weird. Justin, our producer, gave me the stat that said this particular group, I think his name was Brad. Is it Brad? I don't remember ever having this guy. Brad Neal. No, that was the umpire. Brad Rogers. I don't remember ever mentioning his name. Brad Rogers' crew, 75% of their flags are on offense. That's just crazy, right? So for whatever reason, they flag offense a lot, and it was a mess. The offsides on the punt that would have given them a first down, I know you got to react and kind of flinch, but still, normally that thing just comes out right away. So there's that. So look at the time of possession. That's what eating the sacks does, right? 37-35 to 22-25. Dominated them, forced the 3 turnovers, played complimentary football. I thought it was a really good game. It might have been their best game of the year. It's a team that's in first place in the AFC North. Their playoff odds go up. Let me see. I think they're up over NFL playoff let's see what we're at. This was 2 hours ago. Yeah, the game was done by then. So Chargers are now at 75.6% with a 23% chance to win the West and a 9% chance to make the Super Bowl. I thought it went up to 80 at 7-3. This is a really important stretch for them, right? You figure 10's going to get you in the way this thing is looking right now. Let's see, playoff. Right now, the Chargers are the 5 seed. They are the number 1 wild card as it stands right now. Behind them, like right now, the Chiefs are out of the playoffs at 5-4. They're behind the Jags, the Bills, and the Chargers. So you got Houston with 5 losses, Baltimore with 5 losses, Cincinnati with 6 losses. So kind of looks like 10 is going to get you in. I think 10 will get you in. And you feel pretty good about what they have left, right? Raiders at home, Jacksonville on the road, Houston at home. It's not easy, but you feel like there's 4 wins out there for this team right now. And this was a big one. I think getting the one in Jacksonville is huge. If you can get to 8-3, and then you still have home games against the Raiders, Eagles, and Texans, and you got one on the road against the Cowboys, on the road against Kansas City, on the road against Denver. It's not easy. Those last 4, Kansas City, Dallas, Houston, Denver, or I should say 5, Philadelphia. So this was a big one. This was really, really big to get to 7-3 and keep the pressure on the Broncos, who are not playing great football right now by any stretch. What else did I want to get to? Let me just look at the box score, see if there's anything else. How about Keenan? Super cool that they got it. DJ made a great point. He's like, think of all the ridiculous routes that guy's run, contested catches, huge catches on 3rd down. And it's actually apropos. Make it easy, man. Celebrate the guy. Get it to him on a shovel pass. Ensure that he gets it. So congratulations to him. Just point blank, one of the greatest Chargers ever. That's undisputed. One of the great receivers in the history of the league. I mean, a future Hall of Famer. I don't think there's any other way to look at it. Just how good he is on 3rd down. The fact that when you go through Keenan's, like, Keenan has the most catches, most games with 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 receptions. He's got 2 16 reception games, 3 15, 6 times this guy had 14 catches. 8 times he had 13 catches. Like, it's crazy. It's just crazy. So happy for him. And an opportunity for him to get that at home and not in Jacksonville. You know, it's great that he was able to get those 2 today to become the all-time leader in career receptions in Chargers history, passing Antonio Gates, who was there tonight. So very cool. He had a great interview with Shannon after the game, and you could just hear the joy in his voice as she was talking to him. So super cool. Tart rolled an ankle. Herbert rolled an ankle. Allison taped him up. And they seemed like they were good to go. The pressures were there tonight. Let me see if I think PFF might have put up the pressures. Let's see what that looked like. Because, man, I'll tell you, Chargers made Aaron Rodgers. I thought DJ used the term best, skittish. He was super skittish in there, man. He wanted nothing to do with any potential. Like, it was wild how many throws he was turning down. Let's see what we got here. I don't know. They don't have pressures up yet for some reason. They just have the sacks, the hits, the hurries, and it felt like there were more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hurries. I thought it was higher than that. So it's not up yet. All right. Anything else? Let's see where we're at. I mentioned Nico Reed. That was incredible. The Cam Hart breakup, the Denzel Perriman pop, the Mickens interception, now 2 of them. It's fantastic. Dante Jackson's interception against his old team, career number 21. Khalil Mack, if you missed that one, Khalil today joined only one other NFL player, Kevin Green. Only guys to have at least 35 sacks with 3 different franchises. Obviously, Khalil, the Raiders, Bears, and now the Chargers. And what I said is, well, it probably tells you shouldn't have traded him. If you're the Raiders, you shouldn't have traded him to Chicago. If you're Chicago, you shouldn't have traded him to the Chargers. And boy, I'm happy we got him. And I hope he wants to play again next year because it is fun watching him play, man. That dude is all business. Punch the clock, and I'm coming to hurt you. And it was pretty cool. Thule with the sack. also. And who was the third one? Bud, first one of the year. Bud struggled a little bit with the pressures and stuff, so it's great to see him get it. You could see him kind of release that emotion. Yeah, so got the interceptions we already talked about. I thought Travion Williams did a pretty darn good job returning kicks, so I was nervous about that and how that was going to turn out without Naheem Miller-Hines. So that was all right, and I think I already talked about Herbert. Like, it just, the 20 of 33 for 220 and a touchdown doesn't anywhere near sell how good he was tonight. And I thought the offensive line was okay. I know that's crazy to say with the 5 sacks, but I thought Justin maybe walked into a couple of those. And I think overall he had time to throw. The running game was great, right? I mentioned Vidal, if you take out the last 2 drives, was operating at about 5 a pop, if not more, for most of the game. So good job by them. It was fun, man. It's really fun. So let's get to you, the people. Take one more sip. And let's go. Wow, a lot of comments. Love that. Thanks, everybody. Let's see what we got. All right. Hi, Dad. Hi, Parker. Let's go, Bolts. You rock. Just got home from the game money. Right on, Marco. Stoked you were there. A lot of, like I said, way to go, Bolt fan. Packed that place. There were a lot of Steeler fans. They were incredibly loud early, and they were drowned out by the Chargers by the end of it. And this is what I said on the broadcast. Hey, give us your money. Put your butts in those seats, because the more money you give us, the easier it is to pay Oweh and Thule in the offseason. When you got $100 million in cap room to go out and plug some holes that you may feel like you need to plug, get some depth going. And when you've got a packed house and a sold-out SoFi tonight for a Steelers game and they're charging premium prices, please come visit us and leave sad, incredibly sad, and leave early. That way traffic's not as bad and I can get home a little bit earlier. So I'm all for it. I would absolutely rather have a 100% packed SoFi Stadium and put all that money in the Chargers' pockets to go out and spend on players they want to re-sign than to have it half empty and be all Chargers fans. If that's the way the 70,000 are going to go. So I'm all for it. Give me a packed house, man. And plus it gives you some juice, man. I like having, I'm like a Premier League guy. I love the fact that in the Premier League, they, get you that like 15 to 20% sliver of the stadium for opposing fans. And it just makes for good energy. Brian, great call in the car. Listening was great. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. A-Rod was seeing ghosts. You're right, Marco. Man, he was turning him down. He was like, sort of like tucking. And look, if I were back there for a single snap, I'd be dead. So he was, but it was kind of weird to see how many business decisions he was making. Yes, Parker, how about Keenan? We talked about that. Bolt up. Go Bolts. Great game. Go Pats. Pats are rolling, man, especially with the loss by the Bills today. Pats are like tracking for a number 1 seed. What does that schedule look like? Because I feel like they're freaking cruising. I had a feeling they were going to be good. I've been riding them on Petros and Money every Friday. I've been picking them. Jets, Bengals, Giants. I mean, we're looking at 11-2. They're going to be favored in all 3 of those games. Buffalo at home, already beat them. Then at Baltimore, at Jets, at Dolphins at home. 1, 2. They're going to be favored in 1, 2, 3. They're going to be favored in 5 of their last 7. I mean, is this really like a 13-win number 1 seed team? Holy cow. Drake May's incredible. He's incredible. He reminds me so much of Herbert. And it just goes to show you, you think about just last year. Oh, they blew it. It's Jaden Daniels. And it's like, yeah, Jaden's great, but Jaden's like 190 pounds. And that's a little disconcerting. Caleb had a monster game today. Drake May, monster game again. He's been he's in the MVP conversation. Just goes to show you, man, you never know. After 1 year, it's just crazy. Remember when people were like, oh, RG3 over Andrew Luck after 1 year? And it's like, yeah, the guy's got shoulders that are the same width as mine. He's got a much bigger head. I've got a very small head. I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but it just looks weird. What else we got? Sad we missed the game. Watched at the rodeo in Phoenix. Very cool. Rodeos are fun. Jolie, appreciate you. Who else we got here? Keenan Allen, Chargers legend. Darn right about that. Ew. Zimbabwe. Excellent Monday. Oh, Arvo here in Australia. Right on, dude. Maybe we'll see you next year. playing the Rams. Shout out to my wife, Kane, from Rafa. Go Bolts. Right on. Real Rafa man. The real Rafa man. Here we go. O-line needs to gel, but run game came to play. Right about that, Brian. And I thought they were okay. I know you might not think that with 5 sacks, but I thought overall Herbert had time to throw the ball. It didn't feel like that D-line just wrecked the game like I thought there was the potential, right? How about that PBU? There you go. Yeah, you're right on it, Trevor. That PBU by Nico Reed might have been the play of the game. Yes, it was a home game, Christopher. Why? Because I'm sitting at home, and I called the game tonight, so it was a home game. Bolting up so hard right now, Preston Lee. Chris, purposely do all my errands during the Chargers game so I can listen to you and DJ in the car. I prefer you guys over any broadcasting. It's very nice, Chris. DJ's the best, man. He was just on top of it tonight. Felt like everything he was pointing out would just come up the next couple plays. Let's see. Beauty and the Bolts. Awesome game. JSN first to 1,000 yards. Thank you, Parker, for all our fantasy friends out there. Blue and yellow. Teach tape by Nico Reed. Yeah, man. He just exploded and broke that thing up. What a game, money. Let's go Chargers. Looking good in the AFC race. Yeah, I mean, look, you're still a game back against the Broncos, and you play them at the end of the season, and if you win that game, you own the tiebreaker. So you're good. You finish with the same record. Cracked an 805 for the win. I like me some 805s. Modelo Tom Fu. J Webb, that was a big sip. They say that on TV. You're supposed to take small bites so you don't get caught up. And that time I just took a big chug. Yeah, run blocking was great. Kid Vicks, loved how we played. Hard fought, darn right. It was very physical. Yep, Perriman. 9-toe Mo. You're missing a toe, huh? Hopefully it's a small one. Victory Brisket Monday, darn right about that. Mellow Gatsby, always welcome to the carne asada. I appreciate that. I do love me some carne asada. Great running game, muscles, bolts, chase on 9. I don't have my remote in the room, and I would be distracted. Linda, what do you got? Baseball score for a while. That's right. 3-2, 5-3. It was kind of funny, which is appropriate, right? I saw Mark Walter in the tunnel, and then Tommy Edman with the siren, Mookie Betts in the suite. It was great to have the Dodgers there. Very cool. Mookie got a huge ovation, and so did Tommy when he was turning the siren. So that was great to see. And I think it was was it Thule's sack? I think it might have been Thule's sack where they did or was it the interception? It might have been the RJ interception. They did the Freddie dance. That was funny. Yep, Dolphins beat the Bills. The hair, Sky Felix. I know. I got to get a haircut desperately. I'm way, way past haircut time. But for whatever reason, I've just been out of it. And now it looks really bad. So whatever. Thoughts on what? Parker, stop. RJ Mickens, Nico Reed, Aronde Gatson. Yeah, hopefully that knee's not a problem. Herbert's in the MVP conversation, no doubt about it. I think if he wins the AFC West, that he's right there in the thick of it. Yeah, Zach, you're right. Rodgers' body language and his just behavior is bad. It's you know what? I'll act like a parent. It's disappointing. Okay, it's very disappointing. You're supposed to be better than that. Hand was great. Guys are killing it. They're killing it. Rookies this year on fire. You're right about that. That's Joe Ortiz, man. Tip of the cap to Joe, putting it together. Thule on fire. Mac again, exactly right. I already said hi multiple times, Parker. Austin, your dad's the GOAT. Appreciate that. Where rookies have played the last 2 years, why they don't want to trade picks. Yeah, I mean, and not like I said, they only have 5 for this upcoming draft. I expect them to trade down. I think this is a prime year for them. They've got their quarterback. They've got their number 1 wide receiver. They've got their number 1 back. They've got their tackles. They've got an edge. If they bring back Owe, they'll have both edges. So those are all premium positions. They've got corners, Cam Hart, Tareeb Still. Like, when you have your premium positions taken care of, trade back. Just get picks to draft guards, safeties, linebackers. Like, that's tight ends. Like, those sort of things you can get with non-premium picks and get much better players at those positions, like guard, center, guard. I'd draft 3 of those with my first 3 picks just to build up depth with all these injuries. Let's see. Chef knows how to draft. Exactly right. Can't wait to see what Penny looks like. Yeah, look, I don't know how long it's going to take, but it's not easy. It's going to take a minute. And Trevor's been good in the run for certain. I mean, he's big, dude. Trevor's 6'7", 320. So, you think about the run game and what he's going to be able to do in that. I think pass pro's been a little bit of an issue for him. He gets a lot of flags. But this is what I told everyone when they made the trade. Bobby Hart didn't start a game since 2021. It was kind of a punching bag. Like, oh my gosh, they're starting Bobby Hart. Played pretty well. So if this coaching staff can coach up Bobby Hart to be a starter in the NFL, I can't wait to see what they're going to do with Penny. And that's, credit to Mike Devlin and Nick Hardwick coaching those guys up. Seeding for the playoffs, Bolts up Cat right now, they're 5. They're the number 1 wild card like they were last year. They would play the Steelers in the first round in Pittsburgh if the season ended today. I want to see them knock off the Jags. Let's see what the Broncos' schedule looks like. I think they have the Chiefs. I think the Broncos have the Chiefs this week. Yeah, Chiefs, and then they get at Washington, at Vegas. Then they get Green Bay, Jacksonville, Kansas. So they still have Kansas City twice. So it just drives me nuts, man. They should have freaking lost to the Giants. They should have lost to the Jets. They should have lost to the Texans. The Raiders are just terrible. Like, look at all these games that they get so lucky on. I know they should have beat the Colts with the leverage call. So I guess it all equals out. But still, it just doesn't look like an 8-2 team to me. Like the Patriots look like an 8-2 team. The Broncos do not look like an 8-2 team. All right, Bondar. 314 yards against that D-line. Yeah, they played well. Kamani putting his body on the line today. You're right. Kamani's going to have to get in the cold tub. He's going to have to do a little cold plunge action. I hope that he's not feeling too bad. Oh my gosh, we somehow went to the end. I didn't mean to do that. Here we go. Let's get through these. That's with seeding. Glad Vidal scored. Wanted to see Ladd beat Ramsey to the end zone. Well, Ladd got one, and he got 100 yards, so we're good with that in any gex. Brisket Broads, Heather and Mary, thanks for the live money. How great was it to see Aaron's sad face after every defensive series? Great. I think it was more of like Aaron's perturbed face. Aaron's, I don't deserve to be here with you folks that have let me down. Khalil Mack, 2 hermanos. Exactly right, Dan. What else do we got? Penning at left tackle. I think, he's going to be in the mix. I think tackle probably makes more sense than guard right now. And hey, great to have Mekhi Becton back out there, man. Makes a huge difference. Played the whole game, so that was great. Insane by Nico. D was brilliant. Harris coming back, huge boost to special teams. Dude, people don't realize it was rough with Lovato. There were some bad snaps out there, man. So having Josh back settles that down considerably. Why did that Herbert stay in the game at the end? Obviously, I think they just make sure that, they don't put him in harm's way, Erica. But I think he just likes being out there. I got to yawn. Sorry. He's going to be out there with his team. He just likes it. O-line did great. Steelers posting multiple drive Q1 with no touchdowns. Yeah. Gloomy. They had the short punt that gave them the field goal, and that was the only time they were on the Chargers side of the field until the missed field goal from Dicker hit the upright. So what Talking Heads have to say. Reactions tomorrow. Exactly. Going to have to give Justin and the Chargers their flowers. Kudo to Giro for getting creative, no doubt. Minter in his bag. You're right about that, Joe. How about JK's punt? That's a great one. I didn't mention that, Joe. Had that little side spinning kick, man, that was like 50 yards downfield, too. It was so good. And that was all JK. Like, that was not accident. He practices that all the time. It had that side spin. And it just screwed up Kendall Williams, and he muffed that pump. That was awesome. O-line, absolutely played great defense, tackling hard. Yeah, it was physical out there. Marion comes back. Vidal is our RB2 next year. Yeah, I could see that. Absolutely, Tom. I mean, he's on a rookie deal, and it's super affordable, so I don't see why not. And he's certainly proven that if you need him for a game or 2 or 3 now, he can be your RB1 for those. So, yeah, I don't think there's any question that Kimani, and he's a good special teams player. Kimani, he's got a lot of value, and he's really starting to pass pro a lot better. Let's see, Perriman was a beast. He always is. He's a freaking brick S house. He's just so physical. little bit of concern, Millie D. I'm anxious to see what Herbert's ankle feels like tomorrow. But dude got full-on hip drop. Again, that shouldn't have been flagged. It looked like that was a hip drop tackle to me. Wilson kind of rolled up behind him, and his ankle got caught under him. Didn't even miss a play. Let's see what else we got here. Comment on Rodgers' performance. We know you want to, and it never gets old. I don't like him. That's my comment. I don't like the guy. I've never liked the guy. I don't like the constantly harping on your teammates and rolling your eyes when guys... Now, look, his teammates did not do him any favors, but he missed DK on what could have been a touchdown throw. He missed Calvin Austin on what could have been a touchdown throw. He played terrible. Sailing passes, missing guys, missing reads. That one he threw to, I think DK was bracketed. No, yeah, it was the one DK was bracketed. It got wide open. Calvin was wide open in the middle of the field. Yeah, I don't like him. But whatever. He's a heck of a quarterback, man. He's had a great career. Doesn't mean I got to like him. Refs were garbage. Refs, so many penalties. Missed call on that Rodgers intentional. Yeah, exactly. That was the other one, Trevor. It's obviously intentional grounding. He barely got hit. There was no one in the area. It doesn't make it to the line of scrimmage. The fact that he got hit had nothing to do with the throw. That was absolutely intentional grounding. Najee's a 1 year, yeah, so he probably won't be back next year. Yeah, Steelers, they're a physical team. They tackle hard. What up, Money? What up, Lucifer? Defense getting it together, yeah. It's been 3 now. Sorry. It's probably time for me to get this thing wrapped up. Explanation on the broadcast for the missed horse collar was they pulled him down from the front, not the back. Yeah, horse collar is from the back, but you can't put your hand in the shoulder pad and pull someone down. So that's my understanding, is you cannot put your hand inside the pad and bring someone down. You know, that's also illegal. The front horse collar was deemed legal. I guess that's what they said. I was not aware of that then. Shame on me. Harbaugh's brought the grit, no doubt. Yeah, there were a couple drops, you're right, but they cleaned it up. No doubt Q not running through that defender on the go route. One was that Q dropped that was a little bit behind him. You had Gadsden drop one. You had Ladd drop one. A win, but at what price? Yeah, we'll see. Just talking about Herbert's ankles. I mean, it happened in the first quarter, and he was fine the rest of the game. Let's see. 8 coming back. Hopeful for Penning's development. Nice to see a playoff run. I agree. Yep, that low hit was not called. You're right about that. Yeah, Christopher, I think they went a long way with this win tonight to make the wild card at least. I think it's 7-3, and with what their schedule is, what they have left, I feel pretty good about them getting to 10, and maybe even 11 again. What else we got? Defense takeaways, exactly 3 of them. Get that ratio on the positive side. They're now at -1. At -1. They were at -4 going into this one. Pittsburgh was at +9 going into this one, but again, they had 6 and gave 1 away. So they were at a net +5 against the Colts. So now they're down to +6. What else we got? Austin went to his first Bulls game. Been a fan since 6 years old. Way to go, Austin. Love that. Appreciate you. Keenan, no update on Gadsden. I don't have anything. We'll probably find out tomorrow. Cool moment for Keenan. Keenan beat the Broncos this year with an insane catch. You're right about that. Did Tart return to the game? I feel like he did. I'm trying to remember. No, maybe not. Maybe not. But I feel like he did. Sorry, Fuego. It's escaping me right now. I was in a section by myself with all Steelers fans. Held it down. Way to go. 3-3. How do I feel about Nico Reed's pass breakup? You know how I feel. It's incredible. Makes 10 wins all the more realistic. You're right about that. 2 interceptions. Huge. Dante and RJ. Defense wins championships. All right, we're starting to thin out here. Bolt up Keenan Allen. J.K. Scott wobbly punt. That was great. We talked about that. Heard that max stats. Sweet. Yes, exactly, Tristan. The quick passes early on with all those blitzes and them just pinning their ears back and come, just throw those quick screens and just force them to defend it. And that was a great way to kind of get that offense to breathe a little bit and get them to back up. The quick screen to the tight end, to the back, to Q, like those things worked. Dominating win, good sequence. Dicker's 59-yarder. Yes, how about that? Tying the franchise long. Game plan. Let's see. Amount of Charger fans. I just don't care. Like, I don't know why that's a topic. They won 25 to 3, basically. This one says, did you notice the amount of Charger fans that showed up? Great for a Steelers game. Yeah, and we know the Steelers game is going to be packed. Line did enough. Justin, what happened to Sawyer? He just didn't play, Jimmy. They ended up deciding to play. I think they probably kept Sawyer just in case Becton couldn't finish the game so they could drop him in instead of shuffling the whole line. Put Deculus at left tackle. And then that way, if Becton isn't feeling right, Sawyer's ready to go in at right guard. Big shout out to the O-line. There we go. That's from Vincent. Realistic odds are to win the AFC. I think it's probably up for grabs between any of those three teams. Chiefs are playing really good football right now. Broncos are living dangerously. And I think the Chargers, they have 3 wins banked in the AFC. So they've already got a 3-0 record. You feel like they're going to get a 4th one with a home game against the Raiders. So you're guaranteed a winning record in the division. And that helps. That ends up going a long way. They're really good against the AFC. They've only lost 1 AFC game. So that goes a long way. I think they're in great shape to potentially win the AFC West. Go, lad. Pats have the second easiest, I believe. Yeah, it looks super easy. Lad catcher the throw. Though, oh my gosh, that 59-yard grab was ridiculous, Millie. I forgot about that. Pulling it off the chest. I can't remember who did he take that off of. He took it off of Eccles. I don't know how he caught that. I don't know how. The throw, the catch. That 59-yarder. If you guys missed it, track that thing down. Ryan, welcome to the live sesh. Let's see. B. Masmore. Big fan since K-Rock. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm old. What else we got? Any word on Aronde? Nothing on Aronde. Get Preston a new original song cameo. Yeah, I know. Thank you, Ryan, for mentioning that. Hey, if you guys want, Preston just put out a new song. Go listen to it on Spotify, please. It's called Can't Lie, and her name is Preston Smith with a Y. That would be very cool if you guys would all do that. That'd be great. I would appreciate that. Play that our guy got body slammed by the Steelers did not look legal to me. It was. It's just, yeah, it was like, it's basically like an unspoken rule. Don't do that. You got a chance to hurt someone. Denzel picks a guy up and drives him. Yeah, that's fine. It's a run fit, and he stuffs the guy in the hole. Like, this guy literally lifted up one of the lightest players in the league, Darius Davis, who's like 160 pounds, and drove him into the ground, and it's just not cool. How much more do we have? Ever find out if we can see your broadcast after you can't? It's an Instagram Live. I like doing them here instead of on YouTube. It's just, I don't know. I don't need the... You know what that means? That's it. The Modelo is good. Yeah, it's fine. I didn't want a lot of alcohol tonight because I'm getting up early and I'm going to bed right after this. So, nice little 4.5%, whatever it is. Knock it out. Taking a leak before half where they were pumping the call into the bathrooms. Everyone went nuts when I yelled interception. Oh, that's great. Trey Harris is a great run blocker. How many of these do we have? Always great listening to your shows. Thank you. What's up? Chargers base. Felt good telling the Steelers fans around me. I knew they loved LA when Mookie came on the big screen. That's funny. Uncrustables. No Uncrustables today. Kiani. I did a little sandwich action before I got up there. Everybody's going to sleep. My gear is going to sleep. QJ was great today. I agree. Great lad call. You guys are the best radio team. Thank you so much, Jenny. Appreciate that. Or Johnny. Said Jenny or Johnny. Keenan coming back for 2 or 3 more years after this. I don't know. It kind of depends on what he wants to do. But he's certainly still playing at a high level. How many more do we have? Let me just scroll to the end. Oh, yeah, I'm at the end. All right, everybody. I think that's going to do it. Love you, money. Love you, Rolfo. Say hi to Bebos Bar say hi to Bebos Bar from Hermosillo, Sonora. Hello, Bebos Bar de Hermosillo, Sonora. Hola. There we go. That works, right? Arriba, los Chargers. Puro Charger power. That's my man, Adrian. Put a stop. Their fans waving those dumbass towels. There we go. Appreciate the content. Appreciate everything you do. Daniel, Chris, Jaleel. Love the pods. Appreciate that, Smitty. Thank you. Tart returned. Tart came back. See, you guys are awesome. Tart did come back. I thought he did. All right. It's going to do it. Great statement when said, just say JC. We'll end on that one. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. The Modelo is gone. We'll do Believe in Chargers on Wednesday, Chargers Weekly on Thursday, and yeah, there we go. Appreciate y'all. That's it. Have a good night, everybody.